Legionnaires and their families, their descendants, are so proud of the whole Legion expedition.
We're telling the story of World War I, the legions, and the formation of Czechoslovakia in several different ways. There's kind of the traditional museum way where we'll have actual authentic artifacts from the period, and that's uniforms and weapons and maps and flags. And we have immersive environments in that we have some replica train cars. We have the virtual reality component, which is something we've never done before. And plus we have some illustrated text panels, kind of in the style of a graphic novel.
Having the National Czech and Slovak Museum and Library in our state is phenomenal, and that, that people in Iowa can come and learn these things from a nationally recognized historical museum. They just do amazing work.
It's kind of really neat to get to tell stories that really aren't being told in other museums, and it had implications for the 20th century history of really the rest of the world.
But what makes this so exciting is working with students from the Iowa Big program and from Metro High School. They are contributing to the content of this exhibit. They own this exhibit.
It's always been a goal of the National Czech and Slovak Museum and Library to build connections with its community. So I think in partnering with young people, with high schoolers, we are building that connection, and we're building a connection to the future.
The partnership between the museum and the STEAM Academy is really fantastic because it allows our high school students to have access to the museum staff and their collections.
Before we started this, I knew just about nothing about World War I. I mean, I knew that it happened, but I didn't know much about the history of it or that the Czechs were even involved in it.
Today, museums are being sought as partners in education. We can teach the lessons that come out of war and nation building and all of the things that apply to things that are happening today.
When I tell a lot of people who are just blown away by it, it's like, wait, you're learning about history from an actual historian, and then you're implementing that history into a virtual reality exhibit that you're making yourself.
I hope that this project will bring light to what actually happened to the Czech and Slovaks, and it's kind of like an untold story, and I hope it shows people what they actually went through and helps them experience what they went through too.
One of the great things about bringing students out of the classroom into a museum like ours is that we actually get to show them artifacts firsthand. So we brought some Metro students to the museum, and I passed around some postcards from World War I, and they didn't realize at first that these were actually 100 years old because you aren't used to seeing original artifacts in the classroom. But when it finally clicked, and that sense of wonder and awe is really irreplaceable in learning.
Metro is the alternative high school for the Cedar Rapids Community School District. What that means is that 100% of our students have been identified as at risk of not completing high school. And so all of our programs, not just the STEAM Academy, are really targeted towards building relationships with students and engaging them in ways that students can connect to why I need to come back to school tomorrow. If I can get them to come back to school tomorrow and then the next day and the next day, then they're going to start walking down that path to success.
One of the goals of the museum is to serve this community of Cedar Rapids, but also to serve a national community. We're creating educational curriculum. We're doing a traveling exhibition. So this exhibit is going to live beyond its existence here at the museum.
One of our goals at this museum is to create curriculum that is accessible to a wide variety of users here in Cedar Rapids, further away in Chicago, or even someplace like Prague.
The museum is at the table. We are participating and working on even bigger ideas for education in the future where we can make a difference. Guts and Glory wouldn't have happened without the support of a myriad of people. They're investing in the educational point, this reaching of students, but they're also investing in the value of history as a teaching tool. And this is critical to reaching future goals and doing even more.